Power creep is inevitable. Some people turn to dust and some people come back stronger. That was very corny. Today we're talking about power creep. But remember, power creep isn't just, oh yeah, new character better than old character. To me, power creep means how long the character was actually relevant for, how hard they fell, and whether or not they clawed their way back from the terrible hell of power creep. First character I want to talk about is Chingy, the actual literal worst case of power creep in ZZZ. Chingy kinda sucks balls these days. There's literally no reason to pull her or use her or get her from the shop. She just bad. Her buff is kind of meaningless if the boss already has a high stun damage multiplier. She takes up too much field time from your DPS, so if you're not careful, you could fuck yourself in the stun because you can stun the boss and have nothing to do. Again, that's on the player, not on Chingy, but it is something to consider. And lastly, she really doesn't have a niche. There's only two characters I could argue for her, and those two are Cisia and Yishuan, and both of them I think are kind of cooked. Like, you're taking Cisia out of her best team with Seed to do this. If you're doing this, you probably pulled Cisia for this exact purpose, I think, which is valid, I guess. And in Yishuan teams, the problem is that Chingy versus Dylan, the difference is way too massive. And something people ignore is that Chingy is not supposed to be a niche stunner, she's a generalist stunner. And if you're a generalist stunner who only works with two characters and you're actually making both of them worse, I think you are not a good character to pull or use anymore. Like, I literally used her with my Starlight Billy, for example. The score difference was fucking massive. But next up we have Miyabi. Miyabi was and still is very relevant, despite how you're trying to hinder her performance every step of the way. Ice resistant bosses, anomaly resistant bosses, we've heard the story 1,000 times. I personally stand by my original take that she is a tier 0.5 agent these days, but that's not an insult to her. It's just to say that after everything Hoyo did, she only got moved down half a tier, and I think that's very respectable. Even though Promia got released and took her spot, Miyabi is still an absolute beast, and anyone who has Miyabi can easily say I do not need Promia, because they literally don't. Now we're gonna talk about Bernice, which is a weird one. Bernice was a sub DPS anomaly character who got replaced by Vivian in the sub DPS anomaly character department, and after Vivian replaced her, she was very bad. In 2.5 she got a buff, but it wasn't very good, so she didn't really become a lot better, but she did get a buff, so I guess that's a plus. The main resurgence I noticed is that in 2.7 she got Nangong. Nangong was very good for Bernice and she was doing actually good numbers, but then we also got Valena, the air fry team. It's just very good. Valena and Bernice just do very good, and because of that she became a DPS. She got replaced as a sub DPS and became a fucking DPS. She decided to do the job herself instead of supporting the motherfucking DPS motherfucker. And speaking of the character who replaced her in the first place, let's talk about Vivian. Vivian replaced Bernice and was very good for a while. It's just that in season 2, Anomaly was kinda bad. She was an Anomaly sub DPS. When the whole class falls behind, she falls behind with it. With the release of Promia, she had a bit of a resurgence because Promia really wanted someone who could trigger Ablooms back to back, but Valena directly replaced her the very next patch, even for Promia. This leaves her as a very serviceable option for Promia, but other than that she literally doesn't have a place. Like, you can use her if you do not have the other options, don't get me wrong. It's just that nobody will tell you pull Vivian these days. Next up we have Jane, and Jane is actually kind of funny. When Jane first came out, her main problem was the fact that the physical element as a whole was pretty scarce, but season 2 brought a placenta of physical weak enemies. She also got a replacement in Alice, but the thing is, Alice and Jane ended up being so strong together, you could argue Alice's best teammate was Jane. Obviously Jane M2 is quote-unquote required to make this team work, but it still works very good, even at M0. If anything, Alice helped her relevance instead of replacing her. Vivian also helped her because skills the Abulums, Vivian do can crit because of Jean's additional ability. Velina also helped her because the vortexes now crit, I guess. Everything just elevates her. She also got a buff. She just keeps winning, man. She's just fucking good. She just keeps getting better. I don't know what the fuck's going on with her. Next up we have Evelyn. Evelyn did not get directly power crept, it's just that the environment of the game moved on from her completely. She only has one matchup, and other than that there's literally no reason to use her at all. There's just really no case to be made for her. I hope she becomes better. I hope she gets Jane treatment. Please, for the love of God, give Evelyn Jane treatment. I joined ZZZ because of Evelyn. Please, come on, man. And if you looked at your current Deadly Assaulter score and it was kind of high because of Pompey and because of the fucking buff being perfect for Evelyn, please remember that we are not gonna see Pompey for a while again. So she's gonna go back to being ass in like 3 days, I guess. At the end of the day, the question isn't whether power creep exists or not. Power creep exists and it will come, like me. The question is how it's managed, and in ZZZ power creep is managed pretty well in my opinion. Like, you can still find uses for all the characters I mentioned if you're dedicated enough. I will still use Evelyn, even though she's not as good as she used to be. Subscribe, the WOM tier list is coming, I promise. Bye bye.